Welcome to an episode of Hard Lessons with Demel Hannah. I'm your host, Demel Hannah. Violence. Violence in Cook County. It get real violent in the county, man. It get real violent because, you got real chiefs coming in and out of that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Of every organization. And when those guys come inside of those facilities, security is tight. You know what I'm saying? So, sometimes, look, sometimes the county jail has been the place where that might be the only spot where a motherfucker can kill you. So, there's been incidents where as a guy that somebody probably was trying to get, his ass come through that county and a motherfucker got him. So the violence in the county is man, that shit is, but it's something we used to. It's just that it's done without guns. Now it's done with knives, and now it's done with broomsticks. Now it's done with mop ringers. Now it's done with anything you can make a weapon out of, a tray. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I used to love messing with the Latino brothers. They'll make a shake out of a milk carton. I promise you, man. Straight up. When I had that mind state of always just being ready, I was very security conscious. I'm still am. You know what I mean? So, the Latino brothers, man, they come up with some shit. But I think one of my homies told me how to make a knife out of a styrofoam tray. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to show y'all some of that shit, man. I ain't did it in 20 years though. You know what I mean? For real. But make a knife out of a styrofoam tray, I promise you. When ain't no steel around, you gotta improvise. You gotta improvise. And violence is violence, man. I remember one time the deck went up on BJ. When I was on BJ, this was about a couple weeks before I went to trial. I went to trial 1998, October. So this was probably like September. So what had happened was the day before, a guy, he had upped the knife on one of my homies. You know what I'm saying? So they came up there and told me, like in the morning, they came up, I promise you, first when the doors rolled, it was like four of the homies, you know what I mean? They checking in with me, and they like, hey, Wax. I'm like, what's up? And they like, man, dude up knife on dude, man. I'm like, what? I'm like, man, look, man, when dude come up out the cell, knock him out, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't play no games, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm 18, I promise you. All four of them that came to me, they were older than me. They were all older than me. They like, hey, Wax, dude, man, dude up the knife on homie. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, look, when dude come up out the cell, knock him the fuck out, man. You know what I'm saying? The homie like, bet. So everybody was on point. So we on the stairs, we on the floor, we waiting on dude to come out. Soon dude came out that room, my homie walked up to him and flatlined him. Boop, and the deck go up. You know what I'm saying? So, man, we whooping motherfuckers, man. You know what I'm saying? We getting down and shit, whatever. So one of my homies, he was my homies too. One of the homies named Lil Mo, man. We was real tight. We had got real tight while I was up in that county and shit. We was young motherfuckers. He was fighting an attempt murder. You know what I'm saying? He was like from I don't know shit. He might I forgot where he was from, but one of the homies named Lil Mo. But anyway, this gang banging. So man, we put hands on Lil Mo. We roughed his ass up. You know what I mean? And he took it, and we went on lockdown and shit. You know what I'm saying? We went on lockdown, And when we came out, somebody had asked Lil Mo for something, like some cookies or cakes or something. And he laughed at him. It was one of the homies. And he laughed at him like, hell no, man, I don't fuck with y'all, man. You know what I mean? Because we had just got in his ass. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm saying that because I'm not saying that like we just totally crushed him. I don't talk like that. You know what I mean? I'm just saying we kicked Lil Mo ass that particular day. You know what I mean? When I was on the gang banging thing, right? When we was getting down, it ain't even gang banging. It's just really just getting down when it's time to get down, for real. It ain't even gang banging, for real. It's getting down when it's time to get down, and it was time to get down, and just so happened me and Lil Mo, we had a rapport, but he wasn't on my team. Ain't no feelings in this shit, man. And when dude asked him for the cookies and cakes or whatever, Lil Mo like, hell no, I don't fuck with you. And I started laughing and shit because, you know, Lil Mo understood that they got down on me. I thought we were cool. I thought we were friends. They got down on me. But he didn't say it in a distasteful way, like, fuck you niggas. Nah, he was just like, I don't fuck with y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that's how it used to be. It was still after you get a few motherfuckers, take a few bumps and bruises. You know what I mean? Your enemy or whoever, you know, he ain't tripping, man. You know, he ain't trying to kill you. You know, he ain't tripping. He ain't tripping, man. That shit was cool. That was some real shit. That was some real shit. Lil Mo, he told us like, well, I don't fuck with you niggas. But he wasn't like, fuck you niggas. You know what I mean? Because he like, you know, it happened. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And it is what it is. You feel me? So the thing is, you know, violence, that type of shit, that shit happens all the time, man, in prison, all the time. Y'all see that shit. That shit happens all the time. You know what I'm saying? When decks used to go up, man, they used to get bloody though, man. You know, it can get bloody on certain decks. You know what I'm saying? On certain decks in the county, man, motherfuckers get killed. You know what I'm saying? That's been many times that our decks has went up in Cook County and motherfucker done got their ass murdered. For real. You know what I'm saying? I was doing yeah, I'll talk about that. I'll talk about that. But yeah. It's violence in prison. Violence in jail, excuse me. Violence in jail. Yeah, I mean, that shit happens. That's normal. You know, because you come from violence. You feel me? So the deck going up and y'all fighting and shit like that and niggas up in knives and shit like that, you ain't, you know, that shit, niggas up in knives, big ass knives, that shit is new to you. You know what I mean? But motherfucker getting stomped out and all that shit, that's the introduction to gang banging. You know what I mean? You got your ass kicked or you kicked some ass. That's how you got in the game. You know what I mean? So we ain't, you know, it ain't like we that's something new to us. What's new to us in the jail is when we see motherfuckers get stabbed all in their face and in their head. You know, that shit, that's not how we come up in the street, you feel me? But it happens. It rarely be like violence among cellmates. It don't be like that in the county because in the county, you know, they pretty much put you with your own, meaning your own organization, your own mob, your own gang. You know what I'm saying? You know, they pretty much do that. They do that a lot in the county. You know what I'm saying? You could be especially now, I'm sure those young guys ain't trying to bunk up with no damn enemies, the type of beef that they got now out here in the street. But hell yeah, I remember this dude named Santana. This dude was funny than a motherfucker, man. He was back on the case. But the dude, this motherfucker, whenever he used to move around the county, they'd lock the whole fucking county down. Like, couldn't nobody move when this motherfucker moved. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker was like Hannibal Lecter and shit, man. For real. This motherfucker, he was a little bitty motherfucker too, man. He wasn't shit but like 5'4". He was funny as hell. I remember I asked the motherfucker, I said, and this goes in with the violence, the humor. This shit be violent, but it be humorous as hell. I asked this motherfucker, because he was facing the death penalty. And I said, man, Santana, when the fuck you do your first murder, man? He said, man, when I was a kid, I stayed down south in like Mississippi, Alabama, one of the motherfuckers. He said, man, the white boys, man, they used to chase me home every motherfucking day, man. Every day, used to chase me home and kick my ass, man. I come home running and shit. My mother be goddamn it telling me I gotta fight. I'm scared of the motherfucker, them white boys. They jump on me. I say, how old was you, Santana? He said, man, I'm like goddamn it 9, 10 years old, man. I say, so what the fuck that got to do with you committing your first murder? He say, listen, motherfucker. I say, okay, Santana, because that's how I was, man. I was a young motherfucker, man. Old motherfuckers used to love me and shit. That's how I got a lot of game under my belt, man. So, I say, Santana, tell me what the fuck happened, man. He say, man, look, my mother told me, man, stop running from the motherfuckers. She gave me a lock. I say, okay. He say, goddamn it, one day, goddamn it, after school, they came at me. I said, okay. He said, I took off. I said, you took off? He said, I'm running like a motherfucker, man. Not realizing that I hit the motherfucking lock. I said, okay, and what the fuck you do? He said, I stopped. And I hit the first motherfucker with the lock. And he fell out and got to shaking and squirming like a damn fish. I said, now I'm through the chuck hole looking at him tell this story. I'm like 18, I'm 18. You know, this motherfucker telling this shit, man. No, I think we sitting down. I'm probably sitting down on a motherfucking chair and shit by his chuck hole and shit. Because he couldn't come on, that motherfucker come in the day room by himself. They wouldn't let him around nobody. He had a celly for a minute until he fucked him up. He came to cell talking about, I remember he came to segregation. I'm like, Santana, what you in segregation for? He like, man, my celly fell off the top bunk. I say, get the fuck out of here. Santana, your celly fell off the top bunk. All right, motherfucker. You know, Santana, he was funny like that, Joe. He was funny like that. I was a young motherfucker getting that shit under my belt, though, man. You know what I mean? And then I was always like that, even before I came to prison. I used to love being, even before I went to jail, I used to love being around older guys. You know what I mean? Because my brother then was 8 and 10 years older than me, so I was always comfortable being around older people. You know what I mean? So even in the county, a lot of my cellies was older guys. Real talk. But violence is violence, man. You know, motherfuckers get stabbed. You know what I mean? I never had no one-on-one fights in the county. I never had no one-on-one fights in the county. All my one-on-one fights was in prison. I never had no one-on-one fights. Only the majority of, well, I've been on like 3 decks that went up. You know what I'm saying? I've been on like 3 decks that went up and shit, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I never got stabbed. Well, they you know, motherfucker try to skin me. Right here. They try to skin me. It wasn't really shit, though. It wasn't really shit. You know, I was always on point, man. You know, I used to hide them knives and shit. We call them candy bars. You know, I used to hide knives and shit. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't up them motherfuckers if y'all didn't up them on my guys. If I seen motherfuckers up in them swords, I up them motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And I ain't playing either. I'm trying to poke your ass. You know what I mean? I ain't playing with your ass. I used to keep my motherfucking knife. I had I used to make a string. I'm gonna have to demonstrate this shit. I'll make a string and put a hole at both ends. And I would tie a string around my knife, and so I could button my knife up through the button of my pants, and the knife would just be hanging. So when I wanted to reach in and pull out, it was easy. I promise you, it was easy. I forgot who even taught me that, but if I didn't have the knife right here, I used to hide a knife. I gotta demonstrate this too. A towel. At the end of the towel, you could put a knife at the end of the towel. I'm gonna demonstrate this shit. And I had a towel. Guys will tell you, like, he ain't lying. I had a towel wrapped around, like, on my, like a, you know how to, like, nah, I ain't gonna say his name. Rick Ross be wearing, he'll wear like a scarf around his shoulders. I have my towel around my shoulder. A lot of guys used to do that shit. We knew who had knives. You know what I'm saying? And I had a knife. I had probably 2 knives, one at the end, one at the bottom. Yeah, I kept them knives. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't up them On my guys, shit, I ain't trying to kill no motherfucker in the county. I'm just trying to protect my guys. You feel me? I box your ass though. I box your ass, you know what I mean? But violence is violence, man. A lot of the violence shit that is perpetuated shit, a nice percentage of that comes from staff. Back in the 90s, they had some shit called a SWAT team. Man, shit. What the fuck did that SWAT team mean? SWAT team means something. My nephew he go find out what it meant. But man, these motherfuckers come on the deck to kick your ass. They fucking you up, Joe. They're not like, they are correctional officers, but these motherfuckers have been handpicked by this big old white dude, look like fucking Paul Bundy. And these motherfuckers are like military motherfuckers, man. When like the decks is like out of control, SWAT team come on deck and get it back in control by way of fucking you up. SWAT team, man, used to come and they banned them motherfuckers out of the county. They were so violent. Man, they used to fuck motherfuckers up, man. You know what I mean? I've witnessed the SWAT team fuck up a deck. I've been on the deck. And they done smacked. I don't give a fuck how tough you think you is. You came down the stairs, you got the shit smacked out of you, man. You know what I'm saying? They fucking motherfuckers up on the side of you. You can't do nothing but just hope they don't kick your fucking ass. But yeah, I mean violence. Violent motherfuckers die. I had some friends. They caught a jailhouse murder in 1998. I think they caught that shit in Division 9. And they banked them over there to Division 11. In segregation. They finished out the rest of their time in the county in segregation. Two of them went to, I think one of them got life. My man got life for that murder. On everything, Joe. He got life for that murder. You know what I'm saying? He got life for that murder, yep. One of them got out, he turned states, and two of them, they got like 20-something years. One of them was my Latino buddy. I used to call him Goldman Powell. He reminded me of Goldman Powell. I think that's, I forgot the name of that damn Army movie. I don't think that's Saving Private Ryan. It's something though. Full Metal Jacket. Goldman Powell, Full Metal Jacket. I used to call him that. He used to say, why you call me that shit, man? I used to say, man, you remind me of this motherfucker on Full Metal Jacket. But he had caught the jailhouse murder too. He was sitting and shit. You know what I'm saying? In segregation. I think he copped out for like 20 years and shit. But I mean, violence is violence, man. This shit happens, man. You know what I'm saying? This shit happens, man. You just try to be on point whenever the fuck it happens. You feel me? Try to be on point, man. Like some Stacey Adams. For real. Because your ass will get stabbed the fuck up and your ass will be dead up in that bitch. So, I just try to always make sure I was safe. My guys were straight. My guys were safe. And the best way to do that, what I learned is never be on the fucking defense, man. When violence finna occur, you might as well get on the offense. I promise you. When you know that it's thick, man, attack. That's what I knew. When the drama is thick, attack. Don't wait. Don't play defense, man. Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? An old man told me that, named Muhammad. I promise you. You know what I mean? As a young motherfucker, he like, man, you gonna be a leader. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know when to do certain things and how to do it and woo woo woo. So I paid attention to that shit, man. For real. But violence is violence, man. It's Cook County, man. It's the life.